Welcome back, everybody, to the Innovative Agency. Sharon Toerek here with you today again, and I'm excited about today's conversation because it really is, it's about your clients, and it's about whether your approach to serving your clients or whether your approach to advising your clients differs based on the size of company they are. And so I'm really excited to be talking today with Aya Kikimova, who is the CEO and founder of LeapEngine, which is an agency on the East Coast, but that serves SMBs, small and mid-sized companies. And I'm very excited. I've always been a small business nerd. I have worked at the intersection of small business and creative services for most of my career. So this is kind of special for me to be able to focus on those folks. And so I, first of all, thank you for making time for the conversation today. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for having me, Sharon.
So one of the things that's so interesting about your background that I want everybody to understand is that you made an intentional decision when you founded LeapEngine, which was not that long ago, to serve small and mid-sized entrepreneurial companies. But that wasn't your background before you founded your business. So talk a little bit about what you did before that and why you decided to serve this sector of client.
Yeah, so I've been in marketing for about 14 years before I started LeapEngine. And in that time, I was at different agencies. I was at two different Group M agencies. I was client side on a conglomerate, like educational conglomerate. And finally, my last 7 years or so, just under seven, I was at Microsoft on the vendor side. So it's kind of like the 360 view of marketing. And throughout those years, most of my clients were large sized businesses. So for example, like Macy's and Comcast and AT&T and PNC, you name it, like Nestle, those large P&G, like huge brands that spend millions and millions of dollars. And it was really exciting to learn how their marketing works and also the complexity and how deep it goes, in terms of there's an entire team for attribution analysis. There's an entire team to each of the departments, and then there's the e-commerce side. There's the like each of the funnels has its own department at these organizations versus these small businesses. And the reason that I decided to leave my company at Microsoft and to start this business is because I found there's a gap in the small business kind of agency life is because the small businesses are not getting the quality marketing that they should. And a lot of the small businesses that are being served is primarily the freelancer kind of websites, the Upwork, the Fiverr, and a lot of them are offshore. But there's very few high quality services that are provided in the United States. So
Mhm.
that's where I was like, oh, let's do it affordable. I wanted to make sure that it was cheap, like affordable for these businesses. I did not want to overcharge them. I used to work at agencies and I know how much they charged them and then how much they paid us as people servicing and doing the actual work. And I was like, wow, there's a huge gap, and I don't think that's fair. So I wanted to do something that was fair for both sides.
Mhm.
So fair for these businesses that they would be getting high quality sort of work from the United States and serviced by people who have decades of experience, and also not paying like ridiculous amounts that would bankrupt them and make it so inaccessible, or have to resort to go to, offshore companies and offshore freelancers that may or may not do a good job. Like you don't know.
Right.
So that's why I started Leap Engine. And the reason also is because my grandma was a deli owner. So,
Oh, okay. I love that.
she was like a small business owner, and my mom was a real estate business owner. And even when I was in corporate, I dabbled on the side with like helping my mom with real estate. So Yeah, I always kind of had a passion for small business, and I was like, let me start it, let me try it. And, worst case scenario, I fold and I go back to corporate.
So, for the agency owner or leader who is listening to this and are hearing your story, your origin story, and they're thinking, this sounds fantastic. We would love to help businesses like that. We would love to work with clients like that and help them grow their business. But we don't know how to do that and to do it in a way that is perceived as affordable to the client.
Hmm.
It's going to help us be profitable at a margin that is sustainable. So I know because talking to agencies every day of every week, margins are always something that are guarded jealously and tightly. So, what advice do you have to those folks who would like to serve a wider variety of small and mid-sized companies instead of going after that next big brand, right?
Hmm.
But don't know how they would do it profitably enough to make it worthwhile for them. Let's start there. What would your advice to those folks be?
So I think it really depends on your company structure, right? Like if you have account managers, you have to pay them a certain amount to manage ads, and then you have like your SEO team and all of the other teams that may support different services provided for this client. And yeah, it may be hard if your team is kind of expensive. I think where we are finding profit margins at LeapEngine is that we do hire a lot of freelancers and we make sure that they're high quality, they're not full time, but that's easy for us to scale because it's like sort of on a project basis. So we make sure that our profit margins are covered. Actually, at LeapEngine, we have pretty good profit margins. We are over 30%, which I find is pretty decent for any marketing agency. But basically, I think it's more looking at your team and how you're structured and whether you are sort of permanent, like with some full-time people, or you're more kind of adjustable, and adaptable to the market conditions. Because for us, even if the client leaves, right, it's not something that we have to fill in that gap. Like we have a full-time person. It's like, okay, well, that project ended, and we now like kind of pivot and focus on some other things. AI also, of course, is very beneficial. But another thing is like, I think it's also mind adjustment because I have worked on those ad accounts that used to be like 100 accounts, 100 campaigns in each of the accounts. And of course, for those, you need teams and you need oversight. You need so much manual work and people kind of understanding this, and the longevity of those people is important, not kind of like swapping them out because they understand the structure of those campaigns.
Right.
But for small businesses, it's actually a lot simpler. They have like one or two campaigns. It's very simple. You basically have a marketing campaign, you have a prospecting campaign, maybe you have a prospecting like sales campaign, prospecting traffic campaign. Like you maximum have three campaigns. They're super easy to manage. And once you set them up, like I find that actually I don't even need an account manager right now because I can sort of like dedicate maybe one day to review all of the campaigns and then do the project management. But also, the company is 2.5 years, so we don't have such a large volume of clients at the moment, so I can do it all by myself, at least from the project management perspective. But yeah, I would say that it is kind of, maybe they should try to engage maybe a small number of small businesses and see if you can assign the appropriate account manager who can do the same amount of work but on a larger scale because there's not so many number of campaigns for each of the clients.
Right. Do you find that you have had to take specific pathways around how you've packaged your services or how you have um, modeled your pricing to serve this particular audience? And how is that different from what you saw in your agency days? and serving larger clients, or maybe how what you saw as a client yourself when you were on the brand side.
So yeah, when I was on the agency side or even on the client side, I mean, we used to pay like tens of thousands of dollars per month to manage ads. Like it wasn't even any additional stuff. And I found, and also knowing who was assigned to those campaigns, I knew it was like junior people. Maybe there was also another account manager who was simply just a project manager. And there was maybe like some VP who did barely knew anything, but really kind of was very good at talking and doing the sales pitches. So I don't think that was quite efficient or even in the benefit of the client, I thought. So with this setup, it's in terms of our pricing, I'll be honest, like when I first started, I was just shooting in the dark. I was putting out a number and I'm like, let me just experiment with this and see how this goes.
Yeah.
But over time we grew, and now we are reaching a point where we literally are simplifying and having just three pricing models and packaging.
Got it.
Because over the 2.5 years that I've worked with the small businesses, I realized, okay, like we tried web development, not gonna go there. Like I'm just not. It's just not like efficient. Time is like the profit versus the time allocation is just like not good.
Mhm.
Then we decided to keep SEO, decided to keep ads, of course. And CRM is another thing that we are offering, and consultancy, as well as content strategy. So, like with social media, that includes we have to have that is not our strongest, but we have to figure that out because social media is just so important and in such high demand. Like all the clients just asking for it. So
Mhm.
when I was thinking about pricing models for these, I was simply my research was like, okay, let me go to interview, some freelancers and find the ones that are good and then see their pricing and then agree with them that we're going to have like a 75-25% margin, for example. But as much as I could, also if I found that 75 to 25 was too low and I found that the client could pay more and would pay more, of course, I would price it higher and I would pay my freelancer more because I feel like I don't want to lose them and I want to give them good pay so that they, to retain them as well. So that was how it was. And also now, I think after 2.5 years, I found the right sweet spot. So I think our new pricing will be like 1,000 minimum for just like one type of ads, and then 3 or 4,000 for like SEO, some other things included, and then 10,000 like all inclusive red carpet. White, white glove service, and we'll do everything for you, basically your marketing department, including consultancy, including researching new AI innovation things for you, etc. So I don't know if that answers your question, but
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, what I'm hearing is I'm hearing anchoring in there. I'm hearing simplifying, simplification. Choose your good, better, best.
yeah,
Makes it a little bit easier for the client to understand. Maybe slightly less customization or a la carting than you
yeah.
would have to do if you were a larger agency. So I think those are all good takeaways for anybody who wants to serve this market and understand how that particular client expects to sort of consume the services. Um, so I want to talk about client acquisition. Um, when an agency is pursuing larger brands, um, they are looking at long sales cycles typically because they're creating awareness, then trust, then, going through all the stages. Um, and then the contract sizes are larger, not necessarily more profitable, but they're larger and the work scope's larger, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a pathway to acquiring those types of clients, those big brand clients. What have you learned about targeting smaller and mid-size entrepreneurial companies as clients and customers? How have you sort of tweaked your strategy around business development or um, pipeline development or lead generation, whatever it is that you do to get business in the door, what are some things you've learned about how to be attractive to this size market beyond pricing, of course? Where do you find your
Yeah.
clients?
So right up until now, it has been 100% referrals.
Mhm.
So referral based, very much, anybody who comes to us, we basically sort of win. I do think that sometimes people come to us like solopreneurs, and the pricing for them is still a little bit high, even though it's still pretty low and affordable just in general in our space. But we are about to roll out a lead gen sort of ads to start with. And we are starting to develop also, the freebies, all kinds of things to build the trust and to generate, that nurture program with High Level, which is our CRM,
Mhm.
and essentially building out like a two-step sales process where we're hoping to close the sale potentially in like less than a week. So we'll give them that like deadline for the pricing discount. And then after that, the price will go up. So we're going to test that. But I've heard, through obviously other networks that potentially works and has, especially on the low pricing level, it doesn't have huge risks because also the way that we position ourselves, like we don't lock in into long-term contracts. We have 30 days clause out, whatever,
Mhm.
you can go. But basically, I think people feel safe to sign those types of contracts because it's not kind of like long term. And actually, contrary to the common belief, these types of clients actually tend to stick. Like we have clients that have started with us since day one and never left. And because I guess our quality meets their standards as well as the pricing.
Mhm.
The To your other question, trying to remember what you were asking. But basically I think the system is very much the same. It doesn't, what I found is that the small businesses also take time to learn. In fact, it is harder to sell to small businesses, and I'll tell you why. So the larger enterprise businesses, they have marketing departments. They are sold on marketing. They know marketing is needed. The only question is who?
Correct.
For small businesses, they're like, do I need marketing? What is this marketing? Marketing who? I just post to social media. I'm good, right? So
Yeah.
you have to,
I'll just
yeah.
create an ad on Chat GPT. I don't need
Yes.
a professional agency. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think I found that I'm sort of up more against it because you have to convince them on just the basics of like you need marketing and not just like the AI marketing that you don't know how to implement. You still need marketing. So yeah, it's a lot harder to sell. So we are trying to figure out like how do we reach people who already know they need marketing? They're trying to decide, but they also don't want to be priced out from like larger agencies. So that's where we are.
Got it. So we've heard some perspectives from other guests on the show whenever we talk about, you mentioned AI earlier, so I want to pull that thread for a minute here. Um, we've heard some perspectives from other agency owners who have been guests on the show or experts around AI who have been on the show about what brand expectations are of agencies, the kinds of questions they're asking, the things they are needing to learn from agencies or want or the ways they're restricting agencies. But as an agency that serves small and mid-sized businesses, what kinds of questions are you getting around using AI from these types and sizes of companies, or what perceptions do you think you're fighting with them around adopting AI to do the work that you do for them?
So interestingly, a lot of my clients are not tech savvy. So they are not fully on board with AI. So we use AI, right? Like we even have a tool for local SEO that is purely like done by AI. We also use AI for, content strategy in some cases with a lot of human oversight. So we use AI plenty. And we disclose that to our clients. Obviously, we have AI agents as well for our own company. But I've not heard from small businesses like, what are you doing with AI? Like, it's not really a topic that's come up a lot. But I know that to future proof, like in 5 years, we definitely need to have AI offerings and AI focus and implement AI in some way into our operations. But also, I have not found a lot of good AI tools. And AI has gone, it's good and then it goes weird and then it's good again. So basically, for AI to work really well, we have to have like really good AI prompting and an AI developer, which I am still on the hunt for. So yeah, like I'm talking to a lot of like people to try to develop because we are trying to develop our own AI, like Google Ads tool, for example, right? So we're speaking with a few AI companies, but of course, um, it's like it's a little bit challenging because in this day and age, I don't know if you remember like when internet first appeared in the 90s, it's kind of like, hey, there's a lot of garbage out there and you have to sift through and find quality. And that is super hard. And once you find quality, that's where I think you can sort of find gold. Um, but in terms of the clients asking about it, they're not really concerned about it, or
Mhm.
at least they're not talking to us. Like we proactively talk to them about it.
Okay, that's fair. Have you noticed any shift or adjustment in the types of services that these smaller companies are asking for since you found the agency's what, about two and a
Two
half
and a
years old?
half years
Dominican?
old.
Yeah, so are are the asks or the demands for types of services different today than they were when you got started? And then part two of that question is, how do you feel like they might change over the next year or two for this type of client?
The demands have not changed. And in fact, most people come to me and they don't even know what SEO is and they're asking for SEO. And when we do an assessment of, their profits, like their services, their entire operational kind of like sales cycle and everything, I'm just like SEO is just not a good solution for you right now. It's good definitely in the long term, but right now if you need cash flow, it's really not. Like you have to do ads or you have to do. So basically, they come to me like super tactical, but and the tactics are definitely from back in the 2000s, like the same old stuff. It's like Google Ads, Meta Ads. Sometimes they now come with TikTok and Twitter, but they come with specific tactical requests. Um, so that's part one that has not changed so far. In the next 5 years, I definitely do think that people are going to be like, or what are you doing from AI perspective? Are you doing AIO or like, for the SEO? Are you doing that? What are you doing for ads from the AI? And I think the expectation will be also is the pricing will change in terms of pricing will drop. Like there is the pressure on delivering it practically for free and basically providing these services at like hundreds of dollars, which, you know, it's quite challenging to do. So
Yeah.
that's where I think we'll see from our perspective.
So how do agencies who serve this type of client then prevent or fight against that race to the bottom when it comes to pricing? Because that's what you're talking about, right? Is a race to the bottom in terms of pricing expectations from the client. Well, you're going to use AI to deliver some of the work for us, so it's going to cost you less to do, so you should be charging us less. So what, how do you counter against that to keep your pricing and your margins healthy, in your opinion?
So there's a couple of ways. I think it's also the race to scale. It's like even if you have lower pricing, like let's say we develop this AI Google Ads tool, and then we have millions of people adopt it, right? Like it's just been developed once, we maintain it, but then there's, the profits kind of actually do increase from that.
Mhm.
So that's kind of one way to become a more SaaS company rather than a service-based company.
Got it.
The second way is to, like, this is where we also will maintain, is that we are not going to drop prices and people will stay with us because they trust us and because we've delivered results. And no matter how good AI will get, it's still not there yet to be good without human oversight. And also it's lacking like the strategic part. And there's, basically AI is learning from the internet, and not all of the internet has sort of the unique strategy for this unique client, and it's not there yet to replace the human. So I believe that in the next 5 years we're still going to be relevant because there's going to be a lot of people who don't trust AI and they still want that human kind of hand holding. And
Mhm.
then that's a whole segment of small business owners, especially in that space where they're not tech savvy. I mean, there's some people who don't even know how to open an Excel spreadsheet. I'm just,
They're
you
out
know
there.
what I mean? This is where we are.
Yeah.
So, um,
Got it.
I'm not worried
Yeah.
about losing those types of clients, right?
Yeah.
And I do think also the third way for us, like without maintaining and just being solid where we are and just be like, this is what we deliver, stay with us or go. Like nobody's, holding you hostage. But the third way is to do courses and to educate them and to kind of go with the wave. The wave is coming rather than going under, surf the wave and just be like, hey, we are offering these classes, these courses, teach you how to do this. And in fact, like, I'm really trying to do this. If I have some time, I would love to, like, that's also another level for us to get there. Um, but yeah, I think there's many options, but I really don't think that agencies should be worried just yet. I think there's going to be definitely a certain population and certain client loss, but there's going to be a huge population that's still behind and sort of it needs that help in getting that literacy to teach them about AI and to help them to get there.
Yeah, that's a great point because there's a lot of small and mid-sized companies out there who need to understand how to use it well in all facets of their business, right? Not just marketing. And so agencies,
Yeah,
I've been saying this for quite a while, agencies are in a uniquely well-situated position to be teachers and leaders around how to adopt AI to make marketing effective or more effective. So I share your point of view that I see it as a tremendous opportunity. Yes, there's some risk management that goes along with it, but um, helping your clients understand what the power is behind it and how the combination of the technology and the human guardrails and human strategy can help create results for them. I think agencies are extremely well situated to help clients in that regard, especially clients who, haven't embraced it completely on their own, don't have the same amount of resources to embrace as quickly, right?
exactly.
Yeah, so I appreciate that perspective a lot. Well, this has been a great conversation. It's a joy to talk with an agency owner who's passionate about serving small business and
Thank you.
entrepreneurial companies. And so, if folks want to learn more about what Leap Engine does or want to reach out to you, what are some of the great places that they can do that?
They can just go to our website, leapengine.co, or they find us on social media. We are pretty much on every social media channel out there. And, just send a DM or chat with us on our website.
Awesome. Aya Kikimova, thank you so much for sharing your perspective on innovative agencies. It's been great to talk with you. And thanks to the rest of you for joining us. We're looking forward to seeing you the next time around. And until then, all of you stay well.